What's up, y'all? It's the state champ, DJ Frosty, and I wanted to get on today. You know what I'm saying? For the first time, I feel like I needed to do something different. So, this person I've been working with for a long time, she's my Code D. I got Miss Cody Short in the building. What's popping, Cody?
Hey, Frosty. Thanks for having me on.
Is that your stage name?
It's, you put my whole government out there.
I did.
I'm going by Cody D now.
Cody.
The rebrand is happening.
Cody D.
D.
What did D stand for?
That my middle name.
Oh,
Danielle.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what mine is. Anyway.
Frosty don't be knowing nothing about me at all.
I never heard you say your middle name or nothing.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
I wanted to get your perspective because, we both was caught in the Matrix yesterday. I don't know when it's going to come out, but what's the day? Sunday. So
Today's September 19th. Yeah, Sunday.
So Saturday, I get this alert saying that what's the girl name? Karen Civil has joined.
Now you forgot the girl name.
Has joined the chat room. Karen Civil been a fraud on Clubhouse. Now I never get on Clubhouse. But
I haven't been on Clubhouse since like January.
Crazy thing is, I was just texting Charlamagne, "What's up with your girl Karen Civil?" And boop, Clubhouse.
Wait, why were you texting him that?
Because I saw the thing with Joyner. What's the name? Joyner
Lucas. Yeah.
I saw his claim, and I was like, "Oh, y'all, this is like the second or third time I heard about Karen Civil allegedly stealing people money."
Because you told me about the issue that she had with Dipset.
Right. I've been to about that.
And I didn't know about that.
Right.
I heard about other stuff.
Yeah. So Cam, Duke the God, Joyner Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got all these other issues, but it was like somebody else came up and said that she took money from them. But then
it's a bunch of people.
And then she had issues with Jason Lee from Hollywood Unlocked.
Yep.
And Jessie Wu.
I
was like, what is going on? So I'm listening to her explain herself, and she sounds legit. You know what I'm saying? Like her explanation sound like credible.
So like you saying you listening to her in the Clubhouse room.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And then Joyner Lucas hit the chat. Well, he was sitting in the chat just chilling for a long time, just listening. And then he finally hopped on. And this is where I got annoyed because Joyner hopped on, his manager hopped on, both saying that they had an itemized list of what Karen was supposed to do. Because she kept saying, she did this for radio and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yo, I never paid you for radio. We was already taking care of radio. We never paid you for that.
Mm-hmm.
She said she had already sent them receipts of everything and blah, blah. She already sent it to the manager. She never sent it to Joyner, but she sent all the receipts, all the invoices to the manager. The manager.
Hold on. Can I stop you right there? Because let me just tell you real quick. I was running errands yesterday and I saw people tweeting about her. And that's how I knew that the room was going on. So I was a little late yesterday. Like when I got on there, I think she had just gotten or was about to get out the room. I don't know, but I had to go replay everything that I found that was on Clubhouse earlier, like on YouTube and stuff.
Okay.
And sorry, that's my dryer. But she kept saying, like, I have the receipts. When people were accusing her of the $60K that she owed Joyner. And she was like, well, I got the invoices. Like, I can show you in my email where I have the invoices. And she tried to say that an invoice and a receipt were the same thing. And everybody was like, no, sister girl, it is not the same thing. An invoice is what you send somebody when there is a fee or whatever the total amount of services are due. Mm-hmm. The receipt shows you where you paid for those services.
Right.
And then she said that they were the same thing. And everybody was like, no, but they're not.
No, you can show somebody a paid invoice, though. You can do that, but that's usually on the other end because the other people was getting paid. So somebody, for instance, I send somebody an invoice, and when they pay me, I'll go ahead and put the paid on.
Like the paid stamp on the invoice.
Right,
okay.
Right. So that don't really work for her. You know, the people, the vendors should have been the ones who sending her the invoices, and they would either need, she would need the receipts to show that they were paid. You know, but I don't really care about, you know, if she got, you know, however she do her business. Maybe she didn't ask for receipts. I don't know. But to say that you sent these things to these people and to the manager, and then he gets on and say, no, you never sent that to me.
Right.
And then I'm listening to Whack 100, who is so annoying because he would just kept saying that's on Joyner people, that's on Joyner's manager. So
doesn't he have whack business practices? Wasn't he the one that was called out for Meg Thee Stallion? Didn't Meg Thee Stallion call him out when she had all her drama around her contract?
She might have been. It's you know, it'd be a lot. I don't remember exactly. What his messaging was crazy because he was just saying like, yo, that's on Joyner's manager. I don't even know if Joyner's manager was a part of the distribution of the 60K. He had an investor, and he was telling his investor like, hey, somebody said she's the truth, blah, blah. Let's do it. You know, he was like, all right, this is the last 60K. And he was like, let's do it. I didn't hear a mention of the manager.
I was about to say the same thing. I didn't ever hear anything about a manager either. The way Joyner made it seem was like he was still in the mud getting it. Like he was nowhere. Like he was basically broke. He was still trying to make stuff happen.
Right. He was. Yeah. He might have a manager. I'm not saying whether he did or not at the time, but what he was saying, the dialogue was between him and the investor, and they specifically had a conversation with Karen about what they wanted from her. And she did not hold up her end of the bargain. Right.
And Joyner posted the contract on Twitter as well. He posted pictures of it.
Yeah. So everything that I'm hearing from Joyner, he's backing it up. He got somebody else backing it up, you know, the manager. And then, you know, you got Whack 100 saying, yo, that's on them, you know, blah, blah. People get burned in this business all the time. I was like, hold up, man, listen.
He's justifying it.
Yeah, it's like telling, you know, a girl, hey, you shouldn't have wore that dress. That's why you got raped.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Like you're victim shaming, which is,
and you know what that tells me? That tells me that he goes around doing the same thing.
And he pretty much admitted to it that he does that. But he did that in a former life. I guess a few years ago, he used to be like
former life in 2020.
2020. Well, yeah. he was acting like he don't run those schemes like that no more. But so obviously he don't have no integrity, man. He's a whack dude. You know, it's the same guy who did the interview with 6ix9ine and was really defending him when 21 Savage was calling him a rat. And I like, yo, Whack 100, you terrible out here, bro. You looking bad out here.
Well, I think his track record speaks for itself. He's one of those people who definitely has done shady things to remain relevant, to stay having some cash coming through the bank. But speaking of the word integrity, there is a journalist that I follow who does really great work based out of Philadelphia, who came into the room and called Karen Civil out because apparently years ago, there was another Philadelphia-based journalist who broke the story about Offset proposing to Cardi B in 2017. Okay. And apparently Karen Civil took that footage and posted it on her website as if it was hers, not giving the woman credit. And so this journalist, I'm going to say his name, Ernest Owens, I'm sure he doesn't mind me referencing this. He came into the room calling her out, and he tweeted later on after exiting the room that nobody in the room talked about the integrity of the work that Karen does. Nobody brought up, you know, that's the basis or the basic fundamentals of what journalism is having the integrity. And he was just saying, like, you know, that lets me know that there were people in the room who weren't necessarily trying to keep Karen 100% accountable. Like there may be, the majority was, but there were some people who were, you know, kind of letting some of her stuff fly under the radar because and that's really what this comes down to was who is, because there is a lot of shady people in the business, who is operating from a place of integrity.
It was really saying like everybody gets burnt in this business. They were just making it seem like this is
the norm.
This is just regular business practice. Like people gonna get got all the time. Like, this is not what this is about. This is about Karen Civil and how she handles her business, and is she running off with the bag? And
this is not about her just doing one or two things. We're talking about a long list of people just in the last 48 hours who have called her out. That's not the stuff that I had heard about personally outside of the stuff that she's done with people one-on-one is, she was the queen of these women empowerment brunches that were happening. Like, I think, I want to say the early 2010s. So like 2010, 2012, like when women empowerment brunches became popular. And Karen was charging apparently like $50 plus for these brunches. And a lot of the people who were saying that they were going to be at these events were not showing up. People just did not feel like they were getting their money's worth. And that's when some people started kind of looking at her like, what is sis really doing? Like, this just doesn't seem like she is really providing what she is promoting that she's giving.
If you're trying to do something and you're trying to put together something and it don't always add up to everybody's expectation, that's one thing. But to take somebody's money, with them expecting you to do a service and then you don't do it, you need to give that money back.
And there's a track record of this.
Yeah. And so that's my issue. People always want to have issue with people. People, you know what I'm saying? Like, like, let's say you got 8 people on the panel, 5 show up. Sometimes other people just don't show up. I'm not saying.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess, but I think that was something that was consistently happening, which is why I bring that example up. Now, I've never personally, I always just kind of looked at Karen with a side eye because there were these allegations that will randomly come up about things that she was doing to other people. I mean, even with her podcast, Girl, I Guess, is something that launched earlier this year under Joe Budden's network. And there were girls on Twitter claiming that Karen stole the format of her show.
She brought that up.
She continuously has these things that are brought against her, and then the things that Jason Lee even accused her of, and she admitted it. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, she admitted, because she said they already had a conversation, and she apologized to Jason for getting his account hacked. Listen, I'm not mad at her for that. You know what I'm saying? Because she admitted to it.
No, the only thing with that is now, but she admitted to it. Now he can take her to court for it officially and be like, I have her saying on record that she actually did this.
Yeah, that's on her. That's her fault. That's her fault for admitting something like that publicly. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, they had a conversation about it. She apologized. She admitted to it. And I guess she felt like they was really, going to war. That was part of her. That was something in her war chest. I don't have no issue with that.
No, that's fucked up, Frosty. You should have issue with that.
Listen.
That means there is no integrity. Like, you have none whatsoever.
Listen, when you go on we talking about a business practice versus some other stuff. That's other stuff. Jason Lee didn't pay her to do a service. She didn't run off with his bag. We talking about the music business where you talking about artists that are trying to make it out here and they don't know who to trust. And you give somebody 60 bands, that messes up the business for everybody.
No, I'm not. I feel like it's all on the same playing field because at the end of the day, like we said, there's no integrity in it. It's not. You know that I used to blog. Now I ain't never been no level of Hollywood Unlocked, but you're not going to be mad at me for creating content based off of me creating a story that is one of your so-called clients that you're trying to protect, and then wanting to take my whole website down, wanting to take my whole Instagram down that I built up to have over 1 million followers. That is terrible.
Oh,
that is not okay.
It is absolutely terrible. But listen to what I'm saying. This conversation is about Karen Civil being a fraud. That has nothing to do with being a fraud. That is some personal beef. Yeah, it's messed up, but we talking about fraudulent business practices.
But she was apparently was even being fraudulent with that situation, because apparently the kid that she hired to hack Jason's stuff, she didn't even completely pay that guy out, which is why he came back to Jason on the back end and was like,
well, there's a lot of
Karen is doing this.
Oh, right. Well, two things, right? That might be true. She denied it. She said she never discussed paying this guy, which is probably a lie. The $20,000 might be an exaggeration. I don't know. All I'm saying is, I just like to keep certain things separate, because then it sounds like we just don't like somebody. I don't have a problem. Like, before this, I never had a problem with Karen Civil. I watched her moves. I watched her elevations. Like, yo, this is a black female in the music business who making moves. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's
found a way to finesse the game.
She finessed the game. She definitely finessed the game. But I thought she was just putting in really good work, and she might have been some of the work might have been good work. I don't know.
You have to put in some work in order to get to that level, even if it is you finessing your whole way up. You still have to put in some work to do that.
Right. So the reason I wanted to get on this call is because, like I said, like, it's messed up to do fraudulent business practices, to take people money and then stop answering their phone calls. Like if I paid you 60 bands and then I call you and you say you're on vacation, I'm thinking you took a vacation on my dime. That's how I feel. And now I can't even talk. I can't even get you on the phone after that. Man, hell, like, that cannot happen, because it messes up the whole industry. Mm-hmm. Stuff like that messes up the entire industry, because people don't know who to trust. You know what I'm saying? You these people, a lot of these artists, they're desperate to make their dreams happen.
And I felt that energy from Joyner when he was talking about it. He was just like, I had nothing. This was my last resort. My firstborn child was on the way. Yeah. And I put all of my hope and trust into you. And that was what, like, kind of broke my heart, because I was just like, we've all been out, well, not all, but those of us who are out there trying to chase our dreams, we have made the sacrifices before, and we understand what it means to try to work with somebody, and you putting your trust and faith in that person to deliver on what they say they're going to do.
Listen, it's 60,000. This ain't 500.
A lot of money.
Yeah, this ain't 1,000, 1,500. This is 60,000 that
Most people don't make that much in a year.
That I got from somebody to give to you, and I got a baby on the way. Yeah, and I'm banking on this. Like, y'all gotta really think about that. You gotta really, like, listen. I'm an artist. I ain't working because I got an investor, but he's had it up to here as far as how much he's going to spend, because he's not making no money back. He's $500,000 in already on me. He's like, hey man, like, I really believe in you, but hey, this the last 60 I got for this. Like, cause he probably got somebody, he might have a wife he got to answer to, like, yo, what's going on with this money? Like, you putting this into a rapper. Where's the money coming from? I mean, when is the money coming? Yeah, where's the return?
Yeah.
And then now you got the artist, man, and saying, oh, listen, all I want you to do is put your arm around me like you did Nipsey. He didn't ask her to do get him no shit. Only thing it was supposed to be was to get him some radio interviews, which is nothing. That's nothing. I could have got you radio interviews. Yeah. Radio interviews, and just put your arm around me and just basically take me on a journey. She kept bringing up radio. And that's why I was like, yo, he clearly said, like, yo, we didn't ask you to do that. Plus, that's not what we talked about.
Yeah.
Blah, and everybody in the room kept saying, well, you know how radio go is, everything you can't be documented because of pay. I'm like, yo, y'all missing the point.
Yeah, y'all missing the point. Yeah.
Because obviously this here is a lie.
Yeah.
I think when you hopped in the room, I was on for maybe like 5 or 10 more minutes, and then I got off because I couldn't take listening to Whack 100 no more.
He was doing too much.
I couldn't take listening to everybody in that chat room because they kept missing the point, because they kept saying, why would you send somebody something and they not have
Oh, I know what I was gonna say. So I don't know if you were in there, but Nipsey's manager was in the room calling her out too. Now, so some of the things that she was saying towards Karen, I didn't feel like have validity to it. Like she was saying that Karen didn't allow certain people to have, say so in the funeral arrangements and ticketing and all that kind of stuff. And she was lying on Nipsey's not career, but basically saying that like she helped Nipsey with certain things that she didn't really help Nipsey on. And that she came like right before Victory Lap came out. And then apparently got fired like not long after that too. So there's just so many conflicting stories out there. And not only that, but then, it's been said that she gets paid by Nicki Minaj to assist Nicki in taking care of her dirty work and to take care of trolls or anybody who has anything to say negatively about Nicki. She said the same thing is being done by Raw Ali. And so it's like, and I can see that. I can see
she self-proclaimed to be the Olivia Pope.
Olivia Pope, right.
Hip-hop, yeah.
And exactly. And so she even said, she was like, don't call me Olivia Pope and not expect my hands to not get dirty.
Right.
So clearly you're saying that there's no integrity to this. So, obviously she has a list of people who are going to continue to pay her to do her dirty work because she's been able to do it successfully.
Right.
That brings me to what's going on with her podcast. She has not put out, so just for people who don't know, she's talked about the podcast publicly since they've taken a hiatus, but she put out, I think, like maybe 17 episodes of this new podcast with Ming Lee. And they haven't put out an episode since June. And they haven't really said why, but it's just interesting because there were a lot of people who had negative things to say about the show. And there were some people even saying that like Ming and Karen really aren't friends. Like they cool with each other, but they basically use each other to come up. And I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised at that either.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Ming uses Karen to help take care of her marketing and PR stuff too, because Ming, she's a mystery to me because y'all just do your Googles on Ming Lee. She's interesting. But I'm like, where's the podcast? What has happened? Like y'all haven't put out an episode in 3 months. Y'all abruptly stopped and y'all keep saying, oh, we're coming back next month or a couple weeks, and like it keeps passing by. And nothing's happening. And I can't imagine her starting it back up anytime soon again with everything that's happened over the weekend.
Is this the downfall of Karen Civil? What do you think?
I think it's going to be difficult for people to see her as a credible person to do work with. I think that she will continue to get some work, but I don't think that she's going to get the same type of work that she was getting before.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to get the new artist work. I think she'll maintain whatever she got going. But people definitely, are going to be looking at her with a side eye for a minute.
I mean, because the other thing that I couldn't help but think about is these are just the people who are coming forward and saying things. I can't imagine how many more people that are out there who haven't said anything.
Yeah,
or just feels embarrassed to say anything at all. Because some people were like, why are people just now saying stuff? It's embarrassing to say, I was swiped out of $50,000.
Absolutely.
And was played by this woman. Nobody wants to admit that they lose that. People don't want to admit that they lose $100 or $20, let alone thousands. So there has to be something really firing within you to want to come out and say that. And so I'm just wondering how many more people want to say something and just haven't yet.
Yeah, I think more people probably come out in the next couple of weeks. In the next week or so, just because like everybody probably wasn't aware. You know what I'm saying? Like I just happened to get an alert that they had this room going on, and I wasn't alerted until she joined the room. She joined the room. That's
so you follow her on Clubhouse?
Obviously, I do. I guess you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
But I haven't been on Clubhouse. You know what I'm saying. I when I do get an alert, I just typically ignore it. But when I saw, like I said, I was just looking at the an alert I got about the Joyner Lucas thing.
Okay.
And then bam, her name pops up. So I was like, oh yeah, this is great. Let me go see what she got to say. Let me, because I didn't have an opinion either way.
Yeah.
But after listening,
yeah,
like, oh yeah, she got some people.
Yeah.
She definitely got some people.
I'm definitely interested. I mean, and even today, Meek Mill has come forward saying stuff.
Yeah, me too.
She's responded to him already and said that the allegations aren't true. And said that, because it was said that she basically was helping Nicki create all these stories against Meek when they were having their breakup a few years ago. So, there's definitely, I definitely believe she's guilty of something. I can too. I can too, because Nicki, for whatever reason, Nicki acts like a child. Yeah, Nicki is known for being petty and for doing the most for no reason. I mean, even to this day, she's almost 40 and she's still, I don't get Nicki sometimes.
Because I don't know how she got the nerve to tweet that story about somebody ball swelling up.
And then got mad when when different web sources started talking about the situation, and she's like, I didn't say that, but you did. You said these things.
Yeah.
And you're getting mad because people are. You said that you were not going to get vaccinated just for the Met Gala. Okay, that is fine, but you are spreading misinformation.
She definitely was spreading misinformation, whether she was aware of it or not. Because the crazy story is, it's like he was about to get married. He took a COVID shot. His balls swelled up. He became impotent, and so his wife or his wife-to-be left him. I'm like, does this not sound like the most ridiculous story ever?
First of all, this story doesn't even sound true. But even if it was,
it's not.
Even if it was,
it's already been proven false.
The vaccine did not do that.
Right, the vaccine didn't do it. And somebody I think I saw 50 Cent say, like, he didn't say if it was true, because he was just like, yeah, that wasn't the vaccine. Like, what they was like, wasn't he about to get married? That was the bachelor party. That was from
that was a sexually transmitted disease, sir.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen with Karen. I'm interested. This is one of those things. Call me messy, whatever. But it's stuff like this that happens in the culture where it's like, okay, I can't wait to listen to my rotation of podcasts this week to see what other people have to say about it. Because, these podcasts, this is the time that sometimes there's more information that's brought out to add to the situation.
Right.
Specifically, Joe Budden, she is on his network. And, she claims that, he claims that, she's his marketing guru. And I think that she basically has been helping him market the network. I think that was kind of what their relationship was. And he's never said anything about why their podcast took a hiatus. So I'm very interested to see if he's going to talk on the topic, because I don't see how you can't. So I look forward to seeing what he has to say, and some other people in the culture too.
Yeah.
When you text Charlamagne about Karen, what did he say?
Well, first he didn't know. He wasn't aware. Well, actually, I guess we was both on the phone, and he don't really be on Clubhouse. And so about 10 minutes later, he texted me. He was like, I don't know why Karen went in that room to get jumped. And I agreed with him. But I guess
I think she knew she was guilty. She felt like she had to do some quick PR.
I think she felt like she had to do some quick PR because the story was getting too big. It was like so many. The room was full. I've never seen that happen before.
8,000 people. It was capped. I could not get in. I was in one of the overflow rooms.
So they started. That's crazy. I didn't even know they had an overflow room.
Yeah. Sometimes if rooms are like real big, they'll have like somebody record the room and like start another room for people to listen. And I think the one I was in had 1.4 thousand people in there.
So I know they started doing I don't know if it was a simulcast or just another delay to YouTube.
People started doing YouTube lives, yeah.
Right. So this was getting big.
It's everywhere.
And there was a lot of industry people in there, in that room.
A lot. I mean, everybody was in there.
Everybody. And, I don't really like getting called to the front. But if they would have allowed me, I would have went to the front that day, because I was just like, yo, y'all keep saying the wrong stuff. Like, y'all are missing the information. This guy said that they had the stuff that she was supposed to be contracted to do. They had because they just acted like they was talking like Joyner people just sent her $60,000 to do whatever, and she did whatever, and now they mad. No, that is not what happened.
Let's be clear. Clubhouse is an extension of social media where everybody thinks that they know everything. You are not a doctor, sir. So don't come on here talking about why the vaccine is good or not good for you. And that's what Clubhouse is. You go they have these rooms where they bring up topics where people think that they're experts and stuff and are not qualified to talk about those things. And so that's what you saw in that Clubhouse room. A whole bunch of people trying to justify Karen's actions by talking about this is what's normal in the game, or this is what typically happens. Like, no, we're talking about one person's experience and what he's accusing this woman of doing to him, not about what typically happens in the industry.
Right. But, what was disappointing for me was like they were missing what the person had just said. Like, right. You totally missed it. Like they just said that this is what happened. This is how it went down. And y'all just like totally missed it. I don't get it. Like y'all aren't good listeners. But anyway, yeah. So
no, comprehension skills beyond kindergarten. I told you that. Like, they don't be there at all. Especially when you're dealing with niggas in the industry. Like, it wasn't until I got into commercial radio where I realized, like, oh, niggas are really stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
They be dumb. They don't be understanding.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine what it's like in the music industry.
I mean, this is the music industry.
I mean, it's an extension of it, right? It's all under the same umbrella.
Yeah,
you're right.
It's all the music business,
right? But I'm saying, like, from an artist perspective, like dealing, with I've never dealt with record labels directly, but all of that, I can't imagine.
Yeah, well, it was great, having you on, Miss Cody Short, Cody D, and Cody also works for NPR.
I do. I work for an NPR member station here in Birmingham, WBHM. You can catch me there too.
I want to do a what they call them, the living room concerts. What do they call them?
Tiny desk.
What they call?
Tiny desk.
Yeah, the tiny desk. DJ Frosty wants to do a tiny desk at some point.
At NPR?
Yeah.
We can make that happen.
Yeah, I want to do a tiny desk.
We can make that.
All right, Cody, give everybody your Instagram information too.
Okay, yeah. Y'all follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Cody D on air. CODY. Cody spelled like a white boy. D as in dog on air. ONAIR.
D as in dog. And y'all
I have
follow
to say
me.
that because people like B.
I thought you were saying B when you first said it too. I was like,
I know. Yeah, no. Cody D. I feel like it kind of flows, right?
Yeah, I can hear that.
You hear it? Okay.
Yeah, it got a little ring to it. Cody D.
Okay. Cody D.
Almost like codeine.
Why did you have to do that? Because this is my thing, right? The reason why I said Cody like a white boy is because only Black people, they be like, so what's your full name? And so one of my friends used to joke with me and be like, Miss Codeine, Miss Codina, like try to make it real ghetto. And I was just like, please just call me Cody.
Yeah, you don't find too many, especially Black girls named Cody.
I know, that's what makes me so special. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Cody D. Till next time, we might keep this thing going. I'll let y'all know. I'll let y'all know.
We need to find us a sponsor to cut a check.
Well, sponsors, hit us up if y'all want us to keep this thing going and get some free promo. Well, it ain't gonna be free, but you get some promo.
Yeah, get some promo.
All right, Cody.
All right.
I'm out.
Peace out.
Peace.
Bye.